So yesterday we found out that light is holiness and God is light means God is holy. So positively put, as John says, God is light, and negatively put, in God is no darkness at all. So let's look at the positive statement first. Well, first off, remember, this is a metaphor. It is a figure of speech. We have an analogy between the nature of God and the nature of light. What does light mean when we think about it? Well, it gets everywhere. We open a door into a room that is dark and light pours in. We use searchlights to look for things. We use fog lights to penetrate through that fog. We long in the darkness of winter for the lighter days to come. It stimulates us. If we don't have the sun for a few days, our spirits seem to be darkened. Then the sun breaks through and we are enlightened. And light brings life that we certainly see in nature. It brings warmth and comfort. We bask in the sunshine. That's all well and good, but what about God when we say God is light? Well, the thing about light is that you can't see it. It is invisible. It is transparent, but it is real, and it brings what is there into reality because we can then see and touch what becomes visible, made visible by the light. But this invisibility really is its power. You could say it is not seen because it has a purity about it. So there's like power in this invisibility of it, and its power is that purity because it cannot really be affected by whatever it comes into contact with. No matter how good or bad the object is that it touches, well, and encounters, the light stays the same. The light's not changed. So when we say that God is light, when Jesus says, I am the light of the world, well, what should we understand? Well, I think this. Firstly, that God is perfectly pure. And secondly, that he is without change. He is the same yesterday and forever. Okay, so that is the positive. God is light. Well, what about in him is no darkness at all? And for us to understand this, if we go back to the prologue of John's Gospel, and we read in John 1, verse 5, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So here we see that light and darkness are in conflict. There's a battle going on. So the Son of God came, who is the light, to seek and save those, us, who are in darkness. And when man was first created, Adam and Eve, they were in the light, clear, bright and open. That they fell and sin and shame and death came upon them. And then what happened? Well, they hid themselves amongst the plants of the garden from the light. And they even tried to cover up their nakedness with fig leaves. That light that penetrated has become offensive to them. But as John says, into that darkness, the light has come. That's what we have in 1 John. Chapter 1, verse 5. And now the one who is the light is bringing those who are in darkness into fellowship with him, that we've been going over the first few weeks here. And the fellowship is no mere form or name, remember? It is real, actual, personal. The darkness is laid hold of by the light. So he who is light enters into the darkness, searching into the deepest, darkest recesses. The places where guilty fear is hiding, where death is corrupting. And the light, Christ Jesus, he penetrates into that. And nothing can stop him because it says darkness is overcome. The darkness tries to fight back. We try to hide. We try to just withdraw, try to cover up ourselves, but the light penetrates. The darkness is overcome. And really, if we take this even more deeper, what this means is that he makes the darkness his own. He takes it upon himself. The power of darkness is upon him, that power to send the sinner to hell. Well, what do we mean by this? Well, remember, for our sakes, in our place, he who is light is identified with our darkness. And for our sake, he gave up the riches of heaven to become poor. He took upon himself our sin, our guilt, our shame, and died in our place. So for our sakes, in our place, he who is light is identified with our darkness. And yet remember, as John says, the negative of is in him is no darkness at all. In him is no darkness at all. So in the battle that takes place, the light does not surrender to the darkness. There is no compromise. There is no deal done. Christ Jesus is the light, open and transparent, with a perfect relationship with the Father, unchanging and pure. God is not going to allow himself to be compromised in this battle and say, okay, we'll just take upon ourselves a bit of darkness. But that's not what happens. The darkness is overcome. In him is no darkness at all. Christ has the victory. And even when the Father hides his face and the Son cries out as one forsaken upon the cross, even in that dark hour, heaven's light cannot be evaded. The truth is not watered down. His holiness is not made a little less holy. The light completely overcame the darkness. The Father gives the cup to the Son to drink, and the Son says, I will drink this cup. And the Son takes that cup and completely drains that cup to the dregs. Completely and utterly. The darkness is overcome. And so it is proved conclusively that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. So until tomorrow, take care and God bless.